Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing audio. 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing audio. 1, 2, 3. Everybody good with audio?
No.
Nope. Okay.
Do you guys have some podium mics?
No, that's not what
You're not here. I'm not here in a while.
Hey, this is Brad. Okay, please leave it.
Hey, can you talk to me?
Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing audio. 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes, be sure to turn that radio off. We have
Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing audio. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I got you.
Good?
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody ready? All right. Thank you all so much for being here today. We have statements prepared from several city officials. The first person you're going to hear from today is Temple Mayor Tim Davis. His name spells Timdavis. Next, you're going to hear from Temple Police Chief Sean Reynolds. His name spells ShawnReynolds. Next, you will hear from Temple Fire and Rescue Chief Mitch Randles. MitchRandles. Then we will get an update from Grant Cruz, GRANTCRUISE, and he's the communications manager for Encore. And then lastly, you will hear from Temple Emergency Management Program Manager Jennifer Henniger, JENNIFERHENAGER. Once they have concluded their statements, we will take questions from you. If you could please state your name, what affiliation you're with, and who your question is directed to, that would be great. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. We appreciate you guys being here. I know this is a trying time, and chances are a number of you have damage at your own homes, and so we appreciate you being out there and doing your jobs to communicate out to our community. First thing I want to say is this was a very strong and devastating tornado. There are many people that lost property, many people that lost homes. There were a few injured. Thankfully, nothing very serious. I don't think Scott and White and our other medical facilities had many admissions or anything like that. So even though property damage was extensive, the most important thing, that being the lives of our neighbors, everyone seems to be in good order there, thankfully. I want to, as always, emphasize the hard work and the dedication of our public servants. We had fire and police crews out just immediately, all hands on deck. Everyone was working together. Good communication. I spent some time in the Emergency Operations Center last night and again this morning, and we're blessed to have the professionalism that we have here in Temple. Our folks were prepared and doing a very good job. Also, to our public works employees, the flood waters that we had last night on top of last week's flood waters and maybe the week before has really been trying for us lately, and our public works folks have really stood up to the challenge and are really doing a good job. We all have a lot to be proud of with those folks. Overall, like I said, the damage is extensive. Mostly in West Temple. That's where the tornado actually touched down. There is extensive damage to property, both businesses and homes there. So I've talked to other people that are calling me from West Adams saying, man, the damage is extensive, number one, and traffic is really backed up. Stay out of there. Let the professionals get in there and do their work. The last thing they need is a bunch of people that don't need to be there causing traffic jams and just sort of being in the way. So I haven't driven out there, although I want to. But again, I'm not an expert. I would just be in the way. So we ask you to please stay out of there. The next place that probably had the most extensive damage around town is South Temple. I was told today that a lot of that is simply tree damage, trees that have been blown over, blown into houses and things like that. So again, very extensive damage there. And if you will recall, back in 2021, the city of Temple contracted with a company after that ice storm in February, contracted with a company from Alabama to come out and to help us with the debris. We have been in contact with that same company. They did a stellar job last time. We expect nothing less from them this time, and they will be on the ground tomorrow to assess damage and to, basically bring their professional opinion here to see what assets they need to bring to Temple to help us with the cleanup. If you'll remember last time, the cleanup did take a while, and we expect this one to take a while also. If my recollection is correct, I believe that company in 21 removed 600,000 cubic yards of debris. And that's just off the top of my head. It may have been more, but either way, it is substantial. And so we're just going to ask the citizens of Temple to be patient. And just like last time, we're working to get there. Get the debris out to the side of the road if you can. Be prepared for them because they will be on the ground, I would assume, the very early part of next week. So it'll be full cleanup mode from here on out. We did declare a disaster last night. I signed that disaster decree last night, which is helpful to us. It puts us in line for some state dollars to help with some of these expenses. And so we have issued that. It's my understanding the county's going to do the same. But that's one thing that we have done so far. Also, I want to thank other city officials, the administrative folks that got out to the EOC, the Emergency Operations Center, again, last night and today, making decisions, getting marketing material out there, getting out on social media so everyone is aware of where we stand. And again, professionals all the way around, and that's always very much appreciated. You know, we've done this before, right? With Winter Storm Uri in 20, we handled a week of freezing and, you know, multiple public service issues. We had water line breaks, we had sewer issues, we had electric delivery issues. We did that in 20, and we survived it. We did that again in 21 with that ice storm, you know, again, the 600,000 cubic yards of material, and we're doing it again now. So we've done this before. Our public servants, our public safety folks know how to do this. Unfortunately, lately we are well seasoned in doing this, but we haven't. So I don't want anybody in the community to think that for some reason the city of Temple is standing flat-footed. We have the assets in place. We have the people in place. We're a resilient community, and we'll get through this again just like we have the last few years. So thank you to the citizens of Temple and being able to provide the tax dollars that provide the assets to keep our community clean and to keep our community safe. And so if nothing else, the message I want to pass on is that we're prepared. It's going to take a while, but we are prepared for this, and the city of Temple will be just fine. And also I ask that you be sure that whenever you see your first responders, those folks that are out there in the fire trucks and the squad cars, etc., whenever you see them after this is over, thank them, because they're the ones that are working hard to keep us safe. So again, thank you all for being here. That's the end of my comments, and we appreciate everything that y'all do for our community. Thanks.
Morning, everyone. Following last night's event, all available staff with the Temple Police Department responded from around the area to assist with the safety and security in the city of Temple. In addition, we requested assistance from a number of outside agencies to include the Killeen Police Department, the United States Marshals, Texas Department of Wildlife, Temple Independent School District, Troy Police Department, Rogers Police Department, and Gatesville's Public Works. Due to the damage for safety and security and the protection of property, we have restricted access in some areas of the city. Portions of our city sustained significant damage last night. I know there is a natural curiosity to want to look at the damage throughout the community. However, I'm requesting that you please be aware that some of our areas of our community will have restricted access to owners and residents that live in those areas. Please honor our efforts to protect certain areas as we continue to have downed power lines and extensive damage throughout some areas. We would ask everyone, please do not drive around barricades, cones, or police vehicles. They have been placed in specific areas for your safety. I would ask that if you do not have to be on the road, please do not be out and about. Got a text message from an officer. He said it should have taken him 7 minutes to get someplace. It took him over 30 minutes to get to where he needed to respond to. I cannot emphasize enough to please stay off the road if you do not have a legitimate reason to be out. You are slowing down first responders, and you are slowing down various service providers who are trying to restore the normal access to services that we so enjoy. In addition, following the recent rain that we just got through moments ago, I would ask you to please do not drive into high water. Turn around, do not drown. Two areas of our community that were hit hardest are Lake Point and Lake Point Terrace in the West Temple area. We have restricted access at the following locations for both the safety and security of the community. For members of our community that live inside of Lake Point and Lake Point Terrace, We request that if you need to get access to those areas, please respond to Tarver Elementary. Officers will verify your residency and we will make sure you get access to your property. The Temple Police Department has restricted access at the following locations in the Lake Point and Lake Point Terrace area: along Brahma and Contera near Skycrest, Prairie Creek and Fieldstone, Parkfield and Fieldstone, Fieldstone and Brahma, Hawthorne and Brahma, Honeysuckle and Brahma, Red Brush and Brahma, Westfield and Adams, Fieldstone and Westfield, Cedar and Alabama. We also have officers stationed along the Adams corridor at various locations. Meadowbrook is closed south and north of West Adams due to power lines across the roadway. Businesses in this area between Westfield and Meadowbrook also sustained heavy damage, and officers are providing security to the area while these businesses are secured. We will continue to have a presence throughout the community 24/7, 365 as we navigate this challenge. Following the event last night, officers entered numerous businesses and residents checking for potentially injured staff, employees, and residents. Additional checks will continue today as necessary. The Temple Police Department remains upstaffed with personnel and outside agency assistance, and we will continue to have additional staff on duty until it is no longer needed. Thank you to our outside agency partners who responded to assist us last night and who remain on site today to assist us as we navigate the challenges associated with the storm. For emergency needs, always call 911. For non-emergency law enforcement needs, please call 254-298-5500. Please stay away from damaged areas and stay off the road if you do not need to be out. In the midst of the challenges that we faced, I wanted to highlight what we observed yesterday and continue to observe today. Personal observations within the city and community of the City of Temple, Bell County, and the Texas spirit really rises to the occasion and reemphasizes the goodness in humanity. We have observed neighbor helping neighbor, neighbor helping friends, and neighbors helping strangers. Similar to our experience with Winter Storm Uri, the Temple, Bell County, and Texas community respond very well to challenges. Please continue to take care of yourselves and each other. Thank you.
Good morning. I'd like to start off by addressing the storm to start off with. So last night, Emergency Manager Henniger and I were both watching weather radar and in constant communication with the National Weather Service concerning the storm as it approached our city. Shortly before arriving in our city, it did turn tornadic with estimated radar wind speeds over 80 miles an hour and also massive rotation noted within that. At 6:03 yesterday, we had the first tornado warning that included the city of Temple, and our sirens, outdoor warning sirens, were activated at that time. A second time, as that storm came actually to the city of Temple and was entering the city limits at 6:20, we sounded the sirens a second time to again urge residents to take shelter and cover. And then a third time at 6:25, we activated the sirens on the east side of Temple as the storm progressed across town and started to threaten the areas east of I-35. Within moments after the storm passed, fire stations and fire crews immediately sprung into action, and two of them actually had to self-extricate themselves from their stations as they were damaged by the storm as it passed. Luckily, no fire crews were injured and no fire apparatus were damaged, and so they were out in the community very quickly. We initiated an emergency callback of our crews, and we had an overwhelming response of our personnel back in and had every Temple Fire Rescue vehicle staffed, working well into the night last night. We had over 500 homes and businesses impacted in some way, shape, or form, from minor roof damage or tree damage to major structural damage and potentially even destroyed the structure. 100 of those were personally searched by Temple Fire Rescue and our mutual aid partners, as well as Temple PD, to assure the safety of the residents and the employees that were in those structures. And we counted over 30 different injuries. Most of those were minor in nature and were either self-transported to the hospital or taken by our local EMS provider, Temple EMS and Colleen EMS, as they came to our aid last night. Currently, we feel that the search and rescue portion of this is over, but we do stand ready with additional crews to respond to any incidents or needs that are found in the community, and so we do stand ready still to go back into that search and rescue mode if needed for those that are affected. We will be starting the recovery phase at this point, so from this point forward, like I say, we are into recovery. We do have a windshield survey of the damage areas going on currently with the assistance of Temple PD to lock down all of the damage areas that are within the city of Temple and to get us a good estimation of how much of the city is actually affected by this storm, either by the tornado or the straight line winds that came through. If you choose to get out into your yard or out into the community and help your neighbors or work on your own home, I'd like to caution you about a few things. First of all, power lines. Do not approach them if you see a power line down. There is no way to know for sure if that power line is energized or not. Even if it is on the ground, it could be energized, and just merely getting close to it could be fatal. So please stay away from power lines. If you do see those down, and especially if they are on something metal, such as a chain link fence or something like that, stay away from the fence as well. It can actually energize several blocks worth of metal fencing as well. And so, again, if you see power lines down, stay completely clear and away from them, and call either Encore, and you can also report that online, and I'm sure the Encore representative is going to give you that information here in a minute, or call 911, and one of the first responder groups will come out and check that line and make sure that Encore gets that. Gas leaks. We've responded to a number of gas and propane leaks in the city, obviously. Kind of the same thing there. If you can, shut the gas off. Obviously, if it's a propane tank, just turn the valve off. If it's the gas valve, you can turn that off very simply. But if you don't feel like you can do that, please call 911. They will get that information to us, and we'll come help with that. If you smell gas inside your home or your business, again, call 911 and evacuate the structure. Let us come and check it for the gas and get Atmos representatives on the way. If you choose to get out and clear limbs, only do so if you are capable of operating that power equipment. So chainsaws and other large power equipment is very dangerous in these situations. When you go to cutting the trees and removing the trees, some of them will fall or spring back in ways that you may not expect, and so be very careful with that. I would recommend that you use a professional to remove most of these, especially if they're on a structure or leaning over in some sort of precarious manner. If you do get out there, make sure you wear all of the proper safety equipment. Wear protective clothing head to toe, long sleeves, long pants, heavy work boots, gloves, glasses, helmet to help protect you in case something would go wrong. Absolutely stay away from any limbs or trees that are entangled in power lines. Again, they can be energized even if they do not look that way or are not actively arcing, and can be deadly. We do have damage to 4 of our fire stations right now. I do want to emphasize that while we do have damage and one of our stations is significantly damaged, we still are occupying those, we still are responding out of those, and we will continue to do so to protect the citizens and the community of Temple ongoing. So again, it's been a very challenging 24 hours for us, or 12 to 24 hours for us, and we're going to continue to serve and protect the citizens to the best of our abilities.
Good morning. I just wanted to give you a quick update on where things stand with Encore and power outages around our area. Our restoration and assessment teams have been working throughout the night to get customers back on and get a handle on what kind of damage we've seen to our infrastructure throughout the area. We do have numerous down poles. Some transmission towers have also been impacted by the storm. Right now for the Temple area, we stand at around 40,000 customers out. System-wide, right at the moment, we're under 60,000, so the vast majority of our customers that are impacted are within the Temple area. Our assessment period will continue throughout the day. We are moving personnel into the area to help out with the efforts. We have staging sites that have been set up where poles and generators and transformers are being stored so that we can quickly move into those areas once they are safe to travel and get that equipment up. It's important to understand that a lot of this area, simple replacements, will not be enough. We're looking at complete rebuilds for many parts of this area. So that will take some time. We will want customers to practice as much patience. We understand this is frustrating and that a prolonged outage is something no one wants. We are moving people in to get power back on as quickly and safely as possible. But it's also important to understand that just because our infrastructure and our equipment has been fixed, some houses will not be able to receive power after that. Some houses will require private electricians to come in. They will also require, in some cases, city inspections to be done. But we should have a better handle on that over the next few hours as far as how long those restorations will take. So right now I'd like to kind of echo what has already been said, making safety the priority, safety for not only our employees but also our customers. As you are venturing out to kind of assess the damage around your property, again, be sure that as you try and move some of the debris around, that it's not touching any power line. You should always assume that a down power line still is energized. If it's, as was stated, chain link fences, vegetation, also pets and animals that might come into contact with our lines, it's possible that those can be energized as well. So put your safety first, stay clear of those things. Also check in with family members, loved ones that might be without power. If you do have power, kind of make a plan. If you don't, perhaps move to places where you can get power and put your safety first. Again, echoing back about keeping our roads clear. Our crews will need room to work, so as much as it can be avoided, do not travel through impacted areas. We want to get everybody, everybody home safe. Many of our employees who are out working this storm, their homes are without power too, so they're eager to get this work completed quickly and safely, as all of you are. I would say if there is a down power line that you come across, as best you can, leave the area, keep others away from the area, but definitely call 911. Do not call Encore for a downed power line. If you have an outage, there are ways to communicate with us at encore.com. You can also text out to 66267. That'll be a good, quick way to let us know your power is out so we can kind of chase that back and make sure that we get those folks on. And again, call 911 if you see a power line down, but obviously today we'll be working throughout the day, throughout the overnight as necessary to get everybody back on, putting employee safety and putting customer safety as top of mind.
Good morning. So we activated our Emergency Operations Center, our EOC, at 6:50 last night. As Chief alluded to, we were monitoring the weather. As soon as we identified that the damage was going to be fairly extensive, we went ahead and sent out our message, our mass notification message to our team, and called them in when it was safe for them to travel. We got in, were able to start doing assessments, start figuring out where the damage was primarily located, start working through those continue working through those call logs, I apologize. That team includes fire, police, public works, communications department, city management, emergency management. A lot of our leadership from the City of Temple was there and representing their areas, their departments. We work collaboratively as a team to address those needs as quickly as they are identified. We are also collaborating with our county partners. I've been in close contact with Bell County Emergency Management. Colleen Emergency Management has provided some assistance as well. Any of our needs that are not able to be met here locally or resource requests, then we escalate that up to the state, to the Texas Division of Emergency Management. That's kind of how that request process works. The information will go up, and then the resources, when they're identified and available, are dispatched to us. So we do have an opportunity for volunteers. We've been receiving some requests. I want to help. How can I help? What's the best way to engage? Crisiscleanup.org. Folks can go on and register if they are affiliated with an organization. So if they are not affiliated with an organization already, then they can call 254-298-5970. And we will be able to try to plug them in, get their information, and identify what the needs are and how best that we can utilize them. We have opened a shelter location at the Wilson Recreation Center at 2205 Curtis B. Elliott Drive. We have partnered with American Red Cross. They are managing that site for us. We do have some of our staff there to provide assistance and support to them. We only had about 25 individuals there last night, but we do have more capacity. So if there is a need, as we go through the day, the temperatures warm up a little bit with the humidity. Even if folks don't need to stay overnight, they are welcome to go to Wilson Rec to get out of the heat. That will be open as long as that need is identified. To report any downed trees, we have a list running, and we are trying to work through making sure that we have cleared roadways as our primary, but collecting that information. 254-298-5970, that same number that I mentioned a minute ago. You can call that number to report any downed trees, if they're blocking roads, blocking alleys, if you need assistance with that. Gas leaks, if you do have any gas leaks, we do want 911 to be your primary contact for that. You can also contact Atmos Gas Energy Line at 866-322-8667. Please monitor our social media, our Stay Safe Temple website, local news. We will be putting out information as quickly as we have it identified. As the updates are available to us, we will be getting that out through all of those modalities. As Chief mentioned, we are working on recovery now. We left the response mode. We identified that we are now in recovery, and so we're collecting information. We're assessing what does our short-term needs look like versus our long-term needs. This is going to take some time to get cleaned up, to get people back in their homes that have suffered significant damage, businesses that have experienced some significant damage as well. They're not going to be in operation for a while. So we will have some separate objectives that we're pursuing. Short-term is more of the critical infrastructure. What do we need to do to get functioning, to get through our day-to-day? Long-term is getting back to normal. That's kind of how we view those two buckets. So we will be working on that today as we have our assessment teams providing information back to us. National Weather Service is here. They are going to start doing their assessments. We're collaborating with them, and we will figure out what exactly our objectives are as we move forward, and we'll be sharing that out. I do want to thank everybody for being here, and are you wrapping up? Okay, thank you.
We will now be taking questions. Again, please state your name, your affiliation, and who your question is directed to.
Kevin Bell with Fox 4 out of Dallas. She just brought to mind National Weather Service. Where are they starting their observation?
Where are they starting? Was that the question? Yes. So actually, are you okay with coming up here? So I'm going to ask Patricia to come up here with National Weather Service to help answer. They're not going to be able to answer many questions yet. They just arrived, so they're just getting started, but we'll have her see what she can answer for you.
Good morning.
Yes.
We are going to go ahead and assess, of course, with the team of the experts here, that they know more than us of where, of course, the worst damage is. But we hopefully get a sense of the extension, of course, how widespread, and then when to start and the end, and how bad, pretty much, how the extensive is. So we're going to probably start here with the team and see what, because they probably have already an area concentrated, and hopefully with that we'll move forward throughout the day. So hopefully this afternoon we'll get more information.
Can we get your first and last name and your title?
Yes, I'm Patricia Sanchez, meteorologist for the National Weather Service in Fort Worth.
Can you spell your name, please?
Yes, Patricia, Patricia, Sanchez, Sanchez. Thank you.
Residents have told us that they're concerned about looting and people breaking into their homes while they're away, their damaged homes while they're away. What would you tell them about that?
So I would tell you, as we enter the recovery mode, the unfortunate reality is we will have some folks that try and take advantage of that. So if you see something, I need you to say something. Contact your neighbors. We do have a watch program that you can call in. It'll be a bit challenging throughout this to utilize that. But talk to your neighbors, have them watch your properties. If you see something, say something. Call 911 if you see something suspicious. As we enter the recovery phase, it is likely we will see some fraudsters emerge throughout this recovery. I would always tell homeowners to work closely with your insurance companies. You can always call us, but if it's something just doesn't feel right, trust your gut instinct. But we're always available to help you and help you navigate that if you need us, so feel free to call us. You're welcome.
Yes, ma'am.
I've heard some busy time for y'all for the last 24 hours of setting. I wanted to ask, where did y'all see a majority of the people that were injured? So I know that they're minorly injured for the most part, but where in town were they?
Yeah, so obviously most of it was in West Temple, in the area of the worst damage that we've seen. There were injuries at other areas, obviously, as things fell and were falling after the storm, but a vast majority of those injuries were in West Temple.
How were most of the people injured? Were they outside during the storm, or were they home? Did their roof fall on them?
Yeah, I don't have that specific information right now.
I'm not sure if this would be a question for you or just in general, but do y'all have an estimate on how many people have been affected by this? How many households just yet?
So our best estimate right now, until we get our windshield survey done, is around 500, as I said earlier. It could end up being some more than that. There's a lot of homes out there with very minor damage, just to their roofs or from falling trees or what have you, so I'm sure that number may go up significantly. Major damage is less than that. We're thinking in the 100 to 200 home range, and that's homes and businesses. But right now, it's really hard to put a number on it. We're very preliminary into our damage assessments, and so that's about the best I can do this morning.
And then what is the name of the company that y'all will be working with that will help clear debris?
That contractor's name is D&L Services.
D&J Enterprises.
I'm sorry, not even close. D&J Enterprises. And when they were here last time, they did a great job. They were here quickly, well-equipped, and did the work very efficiently.
Can you spell the name for me of the company?
D and J, ENTERPRISES, I think. Is that right?
Where's from Alabama are they from?
I don't know. Alabama.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
Templeville, Fox 4,
Yes, sir.
Temple guys, it's could have been a lot worse, too.
It was bad enough,
Yeah.
for sure. I mean, yes, it could always have been worse. I mean, I've seen video of the tornado and the size of it. I mean, it hit a fairly populated area, you know, and also that's probably most of the newest construction in Temple. So new, well-constructed homes, and many of them were destroyed, and many businesses were destroyed. That was a substantial event, for sure.
Mercedes Hernandez again with PSN. What can you say to people who are still, you know, trying to figure out how to pick up the pieces right now, and it's, again, raining cats and dogs outside? What can you tell those people?
I would encourage those folks to, number one, be patient. They're not forgotten about. We have the services available through both equipment and people, and you know, if worse comes to worse, then we've gone to the point of opening a shelter at Wilson Recreation. So obviously, you know, take care of yourself as best you can. Don't hesitate to ask neighbors. This is a great time to get to know your neighbor, right? Last night, just driving around in my neighborhood, people were already out helping their neighbors clean up debris, etc. And everyone has a heart to help. And so I would encourage citizens to not be afraid to ask those people around them for help.
Which station was damaged and was any equipment lost? Jonathan?
So we're still assessing all of the stations right now, but I can confirm we have had damage at Fire Station 3 on Midway Drive, Fire Station 5 on Apache, Fire Station 7 on West Adams, which is by far the worst damage that we've sustained so far that we found, and Fire Station 8 at the airport. No fire equipment was damaged, and like I say, we still have our full response capability at this time, and we have had a lot of offers of help and a lot of help from our mutual aid partners, both professional and volunteer departments in the area, plus several from outside the area that have called me this morning and last night offering their assistance, and so we are fully staffed, fully ready to respond to any of our citizens' needs. So, but that's the four that we can confirm right now.
Also, a lot of the traffic signals around town are without power. What would you tell drivers on the road?
So treat those areas as a four-way stop. Be patient, give way to the person that arrived before you. As I was driving here, I noticed that many of the four-way stop signs that we put down obviously have been blown down with the next round of storms that we've seen. So we'll be out resetting those this afternoon. But please be patient. And it can be sometimes confusing. So I need you to pay attention if you have to be out on the road. But there's an easy way to solve it. Stay at home, stay off the road, please, as we navigate through the emergency phases of this.
All right, if there are no other questions, this concludes our press conference. Thank you all so much for being here.
Thank you.